Welcome Wargamers, this is Miniwargaming Dan here from Miniwargaming.com. Here to bring you Tactica in the form of Meganobz. Now believe it or not, I don't have a Meganobz on me. I'm sorry guys. It's, to be honest, I have never, I don't personally own any, but I have fielded other Meganobz in a couple battles, and I've played with them, and I've seen them played, and I've watched battle reports with them used. And so I do still have a good idea of how they should and can be used. Now a lot of it will go over with the knob Tactica, because they are very similar. Basically they're knobs with Meganobz armor. That kind of sounds obvious because they're called Meganobz. But Mega armor does a few things for you. First of all, it gives you a power claw, okay? So that's awesome. Then it also gives you Terminator save, 2+. Yay! Orks have a unit that can, what? So that's pretty cool. And so there's, 2 wounds, same knob. So they're just big, beefy, usually bad moons, they're the only ones rich enough to build that kind of armor, but they need the burnas to be able to build it with their, yeah. That's how they're useful, because otherwise they just light everyone on fire. But we'll get to them. So Meganobz, they're kind of tricky, because one thing that they do have, unfortunately, is slow and purposeful. And so anytime they're going to move, you always count on going through difficult terrain. Not difficult and dangerous, but difficult terrain. So you're always rolling 2 dice, taking the highest, and you move that way. And so you possibly can move very, very slow if you have some unlucky rolling. Which is why it's almost essential. No, it is essential. You bring them either in a truck or a battle wagon. Now, key thing to note. When a Meganobz is in a vehicle, it counts as taking up 2 slots. Same thing for Terminators or Obliterators or whatever. That kind of thing. So that follows that suit. And so Terminator or Meganobz, you can only fit 5 into a truck. Or 6, sorry. 6 because a truck can hold 12. So you can fit 6 Meganobz, which is still a pretty big squad. Same thing, 3 to 10 Meganobz in a squad. You can pick. Usually you don't need to bring more than 3 though. You can maybe bring 4 or 5, but Meganobz, I mean again, those big fun battles bring a huge amount of Meganobz. It's great, it's awesome, it's hilarious. But for practicality's sake, in your competitive lists, you want to bring maybe 3 or 4. Okay, now with 3 or 4, the key thing here is that they do not have an invulnerable save at all. You can't upgrade them. You can't upgrade them at all besides switching out 2 options for weapons, for shooting weapons. And that's not where they excel anyways. So, But okay, so they have, oh yeah, and for their shooting, their basic is a twin link shooter. So they actually can do semi-good shooting, but I would recommend in a truck, you careen up the board, you fly. You just get stuck in. You get there as fast as possible. If someone knows Meganobz are coming, they're going to try to shoot you down. However, with Meganobz, you have to avoid certain units. Like a squad of Terminator units with power fists, you'll hit them and you'll both die completely. Because you'll both be at initiative 1, you'll both get lots of attacks, you'll both cut through each other's armor, and for the sole fact that Meganobz get so many more attacks that even with the Terminator's invulnerable save, they'll still fail all of them probably. But then you don't have any invulnerable saves at all, and so they're like, they have to hit you and then they wound on 2+ and you're done. And so it's really sad to see Meganobz get taken out by Terminators because they're just like, and so you have to ask yourself, is that worth it? Do you want to, eliminate both those squads? If you have a knob squad, however, with the multiple wounds in the cyborg bodies and more models, because they're cheaper than the Meganobz, you might want to charge a knob squad in there instead. And take the, obviously, if you have a squad of 30 boys, you throw those instead, because that's what they're for. But if you're protecting your flank and they're going to attack like a vehicle or something, or get towards an objective and you just don't have time to get boys over there, you don't have them, then by all means, if you can, you want your knobs to engage. But Meganobz you want to keep out, because they're just can openers. They can just rip apart anything. And so if you can, engage the models that won't insta-kill / cut through their armor. You can't always, and so worst case scenario, it's better than just sitting there and letting them attack you. You'd rather attack them and wipe both of each other out, because sometimes it's just a very good thing to do in the battle, considering where everything is, and you probably have more units anyway, so you can overwhelm them. But just what I'm getting at is, Meganobz are precious. Don't throw them away like your normal boys. And if you have a war boss, they can be taken as a troop choice. Also knobs, which I forgot to mention. So they can capture objectives. And so they can just sit, they can charge forward, take a forward objective, and sit on it. And they're not going to shoot you off it most likely. Most likely. Just because, yeah, it's hard to get through that many wounds with a 2+ save. And for the upgrades for it, now, here's the thing with Meganobz is that you have 2 options. And so, where is it on the thing? Okay, so, oh yeah, also if you take a transport, it's always a dedicated vehicle, a dedicated transport, unless it's a looted wagon. So a truck and battle wagons are dedicated transport, same with knobs. But the difference is the battle wagon can't take a kill cannon upgrade, FYI. You probably don't want to take kill cannons anyways, they're not that great. But you can't. So, so you can have 2 upgrades, that's it. You can either change the Twin Link Shooter to a Combi Scorcha or a Combi Rocket. Now again, Combi Scorcha, pretty awesome, because it's a Scorcha. Combi Rocket, meh, but it's barely any points at all. It's like the minimum point upgrade. Well, I guess Guard Auxiliaries are 3. So it only costs, like the same as a big Choppa or a big Shooter on an out squad. It's 5 points, nothing. But even though Shooter Rocket is meh, you have a Shooter, Twin Link Shooter, Shooter Rocket, Shooter Scorcha. That's 3 different. That's wound allocation. Now, Meganobz are even harder to kill. But again, very easy to kill if they have what they need to. If they hit with AP2 weapons that are higher than Strength 8, they're just done for. But otherwise, they are harder to kill. And so you have to really tie up those scary units, and then your knobs and Meganobz can just flourish. And so now we'll get into the other elites, which will help you very well deal with those other, how do we say, miscreants that would rain on your orky parades.